So we're getting ready to glue up our fretboard now. So as we said, we've got our little pins here ready to just keep things aligned so nothing moves around when we glue it up. And we've got two 12-inch clamping cauls as well to hold everything down nice and secure. We're using our alkaline wood glue. We've got some water and some wet rags for cleaning up our squeeze out, and we've got a load of clamps as well. So we're just going to spread some glue all over our neck now and get ready. This truss rod is encased in plastic, so we're not worried too much about glue getting into it. We've just taped off this section here where the actual mechanical part is, because we don't want glue getting in there. But we'll just press ahead now and get a nice amount of glue on here. And we'll just get that spread out. So now we've got our glue on, and we can just get our fretboard into position. Again, this is where our little pins will come into play. So with that in, as you can see now, our fretboard won't move side to side or anything like that. So just get a damp rag and immediately take off some of this squeeze out from the side here. And again on the opposite side. And then we can use our clamping cauls, which are, as we said, a 12-inch radius, just like the fretboard, so we'll keep the edges of the fretboard pressed down nicely to the edge of the neck to ensure we get a good glue bond. So we'll use these two, and that should cover the majority of the neck. And we'll just get our clamps on then, and there will be a lot of clamps. And once we have these in place, we'll just go up and down the neck and make sure we're getting a good glue bond all the way along the edge on both sides, and we'll just keep adding clamps to make sure we get that good bond that we want. So we haven't tightened up these clamps yet, we're just using them to hold everything down and just make sure we're getting the glue bond we want, and then we'll come back and we'll tighten up the clamps. So we can tell from the squeeze out along the edge, I'll just try and tip it to show you here, just along here, that we are getting a good connection. And all the way down towards the end, yes, it's a good connection on both sides, so we can start to tighten up our clamps now. And we'll just keep going along and checking and removing our squeeze out and making sure we're getting the bond that we want. So we've left our clamps on overnight to let the glue dry, so we're just ready to take them all off now. So we've just taken our clamping cauls off, and we've got a very good glue joint all the way along the side, no gaps or anything like that. It's all gone down pretty well. So what we'll do next is we'll start to just clean up the back of our neck, and we'll start to do our marks for shaping our neck. So we're getting ready to start shaping our neck here. And you can see we've laid out our lines where we'll be removing material. Now I'm not going to go into detail here about how I got these measurements or exactly where the marks go. I'm going to link in the description to a very good video by Fletcher's Handcrafted Guitars, where he goes into a lot of detail about how to do this precisely and all the measurements and stuff like that, and he'll explain it a lot better than I will. But basically we've created two chunks along the side here. You can see this line here, and we've got another line on the side here, and basically we're going to be just hogging out all that material there on both sides, which will then give us a facet either side, and then we just break those facets down more and more until the neck comes more rounded, and we'll just continue with that till we have the final shape we like. Then we've got our transitions up here that will be smoothing out the material as well, and again down at the heel as well we've got this round off here. So what we're going to do is just get stuck in and start hogging away all this material, and as I said, link in the description to Fletcher's explanation of exactly how to mark out the neck. But we'll just press on now and start carving away some material. So we've got our lines marked out now on our neck, and we've got a Japanese saw rasp here, which you can see is like a lattice work of hacksaw blades, and this really chews up wood fantastically. So it's time to get a bit of a workout now, and we'll just really start hitting into this and taking away as much material as we can. So after just a couple of minutes of that, we've got two things. We've got a very dusty floor, and we've taken off all this material on the sides here as well. So what that's done now is we've now created a little ridge just here and a little ridge just here. So what we can come back now is if we use this ridge as one of our facets and our center line, and we then smooth out that then continues the rounding over the neck, and that'll create another little facet here, and we can round over that, and we just keep doing that, and eventually we end up getting the neck nice and rounded and ready to be refined. So we'll just keep working away now and keep hogging away material. So now that we've taken off that next facet there, you can see we're definitely approaching something that's looking more and more like a neck. Even at the moment it's kind of like a very sharp V at the moment. See if I can get you that. So we're just going to keep going and just refining it more and more, and then we'll also be working on our transitions here at our headstock and as well as our heel. So we'll just keep working away there. So we're pretty much done shaping the neck, and we've just smoothed out the transition here at the heel and as well at the headstock. Still a small bit to get the exact contour that we want, but we're almost there. But what we're going to move on to now is just some sanding. So we're just going to give the whole thing the once over, kind of just to smooth out everything, kind of remove any little dings or divots or anything like that, and just give it the final kind of smooth shape that we want. So we'll just press ahead through that now, just going up through various grits until we get it nice and completely smooth. Done with the neck, we're going to give the body a good final sanding, going up through all the various grits to get everything nice and smooth, and we're just doing this as it's a little bit easier to get into all these nooks and crannies before we put the neck in place, and around the sides and that as well. So we're just going to plough ahead with that. We'll do it all off camera. As I said, watching somebody sand is very, very boring, so we'll just go through this as quickly as we can, kind of, and just get it all sanded up nice and smooth and get ready to attach the neck to the body. So now we've got the body and the neck completely sanded, and we're going to glue them together now. So we've got a clamping caul for the top and for the bottom. We've got some clamps and we've got our glue here. So we're just going to use our brush and some glue, and we're going to completely fill the cavity in here and their neck tenon as well. And we're just going to put them together, and we'll clamp everything in place and leave it overnight. So we'll just get cracking with that now. So that's our neck in place now and our clamps on. So we're just going to leave that to dry overnight, and we'll come back to it then. And so with that in place, we'll be able to put some temporary strings on and do our alignment for our bridge and our tailpiece, etc. So it's always stressful doing that. So we'll leave this, as we said, to dry overnight, and we'll see how we get on then.